Welcome back to the MANN channel. If you're interested in helping support this channel or this series, make sure to visit wakeman.com, and I have all kinds of WakeMan gear and merch you can check out. All right, so right now I am driving onto a piece of land that I'm looking at because I want to build a private lake. This is something I've kind of dreamt about and wanted to do for a long time, even way before I had a YouTube channel. But yeah, I want a private lake. I want to be able to build a compound right on a lake, have a lake house, be able to have the lake to myself, be able to have calmer waters more often. You know, when you have a smaller body of water, it doesn't get as rough. I want to be able to maybe someday put up a cable, a two-point cable, like a system 2.0. You know, just different things like that. I want a beach. I want a dock. I want to be able to leave my boat at the lake. Just little things like that. But my initial goal is just to get a piece of land and get a lake built that's usable. And in order to do that, I am going to take a little nest egg of mine that I've been building for quite some time, and I'm going to risk it. They say with no risk, there's no reward. So this is going to be a risk, but it's going to be a calculated risk. So right now I'm looking at a piece of land that is not too far from where we live. I am looking for something that's going to be a half an hour to an hour away from where we live, because land that's close to town is more money. And I also want it to be a getaway for us still. You know, I don't want it to be just right in town, and I want it to be I don't want it to be something that's right out in the open eye for everybody. As you can tell, there's lots of snow. We've actually had a very, very warm winter all the way through December and January, and I think a lot of November. We didn't even have any snow, and we've been in like the 40s and 50s, which is a very warm winter for Montana and Billings in general. In the last couple days, we've gotten I think it's about 8 to 10 inches so far of snow, and it's 3 degrees out right now. So we're getting a little bit of Montana winter right at the end here. Okay, I think this is a good stopping point. I'm just gonna put the drone up in the air and fly it around a little bit. And I've got another piece of property I'm gonna go look at here shortly as well. One of the big things I'm looking for is the kind of the lay of the land, whether or not I even wanna like hang out in this area, and also whether or not there's water, whether or not it's level enough, those types of things. I'll be honest, I don't really have high hopes for this piece of land, but I'm taking a look at it. I'm going to look at a lot of stuff and take everything into consideration. All right, so like I said, I didn't have great hopes for this piece of land. One of my big concerns on this piece of land is water. which it sounds like it would end up being a well here, which I'd rather, if I had to use a well, I'd rather that be my backup source of water, not my main source of water. But as I flew it around, and I don't know if it was probably hard for you to tell because it's like whiteout snow right now, kind of hard to see variations in land and color, and so it's probably really hard for you to tell. It was hard for me to tell too when I was flying the drone, but it looks like there's quite a bit of kind of elevation changes. It's not extreme by any means, and I might be able to find an area that's all low-lying or something to that effect, but it's just not ideal. And not only that, you're kind of out in the open, just out in the middle of a prairie. Not really any trees around, not really any mountains around, nothing like that. So I don't know if this is the best place. In fact, it probably is likely gonna not gonna be on my list, but it was fun to come check it out, and I'm gonna head over to the next piece of property right now and we'll talk about that one. Hey there, I just wanted to interject really quick. This is a few days later when I'm editing the video, and I wanted to touch on a couple of points surrounding the private lake series. First of all, I just want to say that again, there are many variables involved and things need to align sort of perfectly for this to happen. So yes, the possibility exists that this will not happen, but I'm going to try my best to make it happen. And secondly, I talked about the fact that I'm going to use a nest egg of mine to take a risk on this, and I plan on making a video later on discussing more details about my nest egg and how I'm doing this, because I get quite a few questions about what I do for a living and how I'm able to, for example, afford an expensive boat, and probably now how am I able to afford building a private lake. So again, I do plan on making a video for that. So just make sure you're checking back in and watching my videos, and you'll find out more information about that. So that's the end of my interruption. I'll put you back to the video now. Alright, so I just got done looking at the last property. I actually brought one of my friends with me to go look at that one because he lives really close to it. And both these pieces of property I'm looking at, they're actually pretty dang close to where I live, and would be super convenient because then I could just run out for an evening or morning to get some sets. Wouldn't have to go stay for a whole weekend or something to that effect like we do right now all summer long, because our typical trip is 2 hours away. So that's something I'm really excited about. But the piece of land I just looked at, it's actually pretty cool. I think there's some options with it. It's got a great water supply, at least seemingly. There's a ditch that runs right by it. There's a couple of ponds on the property, and I read on the property that it has water rights to do flood irrigation. So without knowing for sure at this point, I think it's got good potential. So I'm pretty excited about that. But it's all going to depend on several things. There's a lot of variables in this. So anyways, you know, one of the big things I'm looking for is that there's enough room to put a 2,000 foot long lake at least 250 feet wide. I'd like it to be a little wider than that, maybe 300 feet. I'll just do what I can with what I've got. So that's kind of what my requirements of what I'm looking for. Obviously good water supply. But anyways, I've been excited to do something like this for a while. So this is the first video of a series that I'm going to be doing that's going to surround building a private lake. So I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be a very interesting series to watch. So if you want to see this thing get built as bad as I do, then you can help out by sharing this video and the series as much as you can, and also making sure you like this video, and make sure that if you have thoughts about this video and what this series is going to be about, that you leave it in the comments below. And also, if you have ideas for future videos in this series or other videos in general, just leave them in the comments below as well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you can be notified of my future videos. You're going to want to see the rest of this series. I'll see you next week.